Hey guys, I am Yuri. Welcome back to my cosplay workshop. This is episode 3 of Project Pickle Vic, which is our pet name for Viktor Nikiforov's Yuri on Ice Adolescence movie trailer costume. It is always a tongue twister to say that project. Last episode we cut out all of the panels for our entire garment out of our fabulous pickle colored fabric and did a test sew together with a really loose and weak stitch. This session we have to unpick the entire thing and lay it flat so that we can pattern out the white applique details and pin and sew all of that together before we can assemble the entire costume. This episode, just like the last one, won't be super technical, but it will definitely be very repetitive. So I hope you enjoy, find something helpful, and have a good time watching me descend into applique hell. Before we begin, let me just do a really quick plug. If you love learning cosplay crafting with me, visit my website at akwiru.com and grab one of my books from the store. There's also a free archive of all the tutorials I've made on social media for you to look through, and a gallery full of pretty pictures as well. Also, please consider becoming a supporter on Patreon, where for any amount that you choose to pledge, you'll access all of my YouTube videos 30 days early, plus you'll automatically get a tutorial booklet and pattern of each part of a cosplay that gets complete. Thank you so much for letting me plug. I hope you enjoyed the video. So we're going to take an unpicker and take apart the bitch. I'm so sad. So this step right here, because we have to unpick everything to put the white fabric back on and then sew it back together again. This is the reason why we sewed the green fabric together in the first go so loosely with a loose tension and a loose stitch as well. It just means that right now I have a much better time unpicking everything because the stitch isn't exactly very strong. So all I have to do is poke it a little bit and it will just come off. Now it's just unpicking till cry, stab the bitch, pull it apart. Once you've unpicked everything, if you have made any significant alterations to the garment while you had sewn it together with the real fabric, you might want to copy your changes onto your mock-up, just in case you want to make a similar costume in the future. You wouldn't have to go back and repeat those same alterations again. Now it's time to design the white details onto the green parts. I have some tracing paper here. I can just place that on top and draw away while looking at the reference picture. So we have the tracing paper here. First things first, I'm going to trace the outline of the garment, so that when we have the design all drawn up, we know where to sew it to. Sweet, now we have to look at the reference picture and draw the design accordingly. Ta-da! And that is the back detail all patterned out. We can start transferring this onto the white fabric once we've patterned everything else. Make sure when you're done patterning, you label all of your paper pieces, or else they look too similar to the trash and you might throw it out by accident. So label everything before you put it away. Next, I'm going to draw out the details that go onto his sleeve using the same baking paper that we were using for the back. So when I am doing details onto sleeves that are symmetrical, I like to fold the panel over like this, lay the paper on top like this, match up this side like this, and then I will draw the pattern on one side, draw the line for the fold, and then once I've finished drawing the design on one side, then I'll fold it over and transfer it onto the other side so that the details are the same on both sides of the sleeve, both front and the back. Now we're just going to fold this piece in half and trace it onto the other side, then cut it out. Now we repeat the stenciling on the front as well. Funnily enough, I've noticed that Viktor has like a dick pic on the front of his shoulder, so we've drawn a dick pic there, and I can't wait to cut it out of the white material. It's a dick pic. And next, I'm going to pattern the flames that are on the skirt. On the reference picture, I can see that the flames climb up the middle first, and then goes onto a recurring flame pattern. So what I've done already is fold the circular skirt into quarter, and then I'm going to put the baking paper over it and pattern the edge first, then it will go into the recurring pattern. And then for the rest of the sector, I can just ignore the edge and just copy out the recurring pattern all around the circle skirt. This is very fiddly. It is so fiddly, and the paper is going everywhere. And ta-da! The flames are all done. It was a very fiddly process because the cooking paper went everywhere while I was trying to snip it out, but I'm super happy with how I've drawn the flames and how it looks on the rest of the skirt. I think we got the proportions quite right. So here's the sleeve. What I'm doing here is carefully tracing out the pattern that I've drawn out of the baking paper onto the white fabric. Once we've done that, we'll do another one, and then we can cut it out. And ta-da! That is the sleeve all traced out, and repeat till cry, I did it twice. Second sleeve as well. Yay, time to move on to the front. Next, we're tracing the dick pic that he has on his front shoulder. This is one copy done already, and then we have to flip the pattern over for the other side. It's really important when you're patterning a mock-up for something symmetrical and you've made one copy to make for the both sides. You have to remember to flip your pattern, or else when you cut it out onto your actual fabric, you will end up with two copies of the same side and waste material. It's very faint, you probably can't see it through the camera, but it is just enough for a guide for me to cut out from this material. Now to repeat on the back panel. Ta-da! And that is the sleeve, front, and the back all traced out. The final bit that I need to trace out and cut are the flames that are on his skirt. His flames are recurring patterns every quarter of the skirt, so I've just patterned it once. What I really have to be careful here is that I copy the flames twice one way and then flip it over and copy it twice the other way, or else I wouldn't have symmetry. I would just have the same direction of the flames all the way through, and that wouldn't be what I want. Once you are happy with your Tetrising, you can start tracing the flames. The flames on the skirt are quite squiggly and tedious, so just be super patient and take it very slowly. After a lot of tracing, I'm finally onto the fourth panel of the flames. These flames are seriously repeat till cry, but good thing I have some flaming hot dumplings here to keep me company. We're really playing with fire here because these are like flaming red and we are putting it right next to the white fabric, but we're living on the edge and we are getting some work done. So on we go, repeat till cry. So all of that tracing is finally done and it's now time to cut the bitch. Ta-da! The front and the back are cut out. Next, let's do the sleeves. Yes, the time has come to actually pin the applique onto the garment. Now we've worked really hard to get to this step. After we pin these pieces onto the green fabric, then it's actually time to actually sew all of the applique down and sew the garment together. Super excited for this step. I've already pinned the front. Let's move on to the back. The back panel is also pinned and ready to go. Yay! The final butt flame panel is just about to be finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Yes! So with that, I now have 4 panels of the butt flames that will go all the way around the circle skirt. So now it's time to attach these flames to the skirt and start sewing after that. Now we are ready to attach all of these butt flames onto the butt. But first, we need to sew everything together into one long flamey snake. Ta-da! And we are all done with the applique. This is all pinned onto the Pickle Vic base garment now, and we are officially ready to sew everything together. I'm so excited. So we have confirmed that the applique is matching up and it looks really good on the garment. We've tried it, it fits good still, and we're totally happy with it. So it's time now to unpin the entire thing yet again and sew the applique down. And from this point on, there is nothing interesting to say. It is just repeat till cry until all of the flames are stitched down onto your green fabric. There is so much of it. And oh my gosh, just simply repeat till cry. Yes! We just got all of these flames sewn on. Yes! Applique hell is over. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. This episode was brought to you by your amazing support on Patreon and Twitch, with special thanks to Isabel, Jonathan, April, Carly, Chad, Sylvia, Hello Level, Anamessa, Natalie, and Mary Dignan. Thank you so much once again. I will see you in the next episode, which will come out really soon. But in the meantime, please stay crafty.